Hey guys, uh, so I think that last time we created the registration screen and also added dark theme support. And in today's session, I would like to work on create habit screen and also add the offline capabilities by using optimistic response and also update. Just let me give you. Okay, so and also update the cache because we are basically storing the response on the cache, but whenever someone will mutate locally, we also would like to update the cache as well. So let me just start the project here. Please do let me know if the stream is, I don't know, dropping frames or something, or if the audio quality is bad. Okay, so let me also open the simulator. Yeah, so let me also create and node and this is so let me also create a new session here. Let me also close this window and let's create an issue. Add habit from this one and also create an issue. Actually create screen and it's number 4. So create habit screen. If you guys haven't seen my previous streaming, this is a React Native application using Expo on the mobile side, React navigation and style components. I'm also using switch navigation for authentication in case the user has it's already authenticated. And on the backend side, I'm using and Apollo on the mobile side, of course. And on the backend side, I'm using Prisma, Nexus, and TypeScript. The server is deployed on Vultr. I'm using Docker for creating the containers, and Let's Encrypt for SSL or HTTPS, and Namecheap for the domains. So I'll also be using the API.Uzual.App, which is my dev production API. That's because I think that I'll also quit Docker because it's taking half of my resources from this laptop. So as you can see, like the simulator is super slow, but eventually I'll get to a point where everything will be fast again. We'll see. And let me also quit Docker for now. Okay, so as you can see, so this is 78%, and also let me close a couple of things here. So in order to do the mutation, I'd like to create a new screen here. So I'll just clone the home screen, copy and paste here. Oops, I did something wrong, right? What is this? 20. We don't need it. And let me copy and paste it and rename it to add habit or habit. Okay, this is complaining because I think that I removed the credentials here, and in home created a hack here and called it logout. So whenever the component will mount, I just log out the user. And it's working, cool. So let me refresh it. So let me log in. The email is going to be Uzual session, Uzual@gmail, and the password is password. Cool, so I have no habits now. First, let me need the render, else here I like to maybe add an empty state here. So if it's not loading, so this props data habits. So if you have habits, actually think that I'll just leave it as it is, and in render x, render habits, in render habits, if not habits, here, this one, this render habits list. Hey man, nice to see you again. No, actually I'm not verifying the user, so I take it for granted, but it should be pretty simple. I'm not using Redis on the backend, but it's super simple to create email verification. And basically, I think that Benno would have a great video for creating email verification. But basically, you'll have a key which is stored on Redis attached to that user ID that you've just created, and you're sending an email with a link. And whenever the user will press on that, you'll expose that API from that path in the Express server. And if the user has the token plus the email, you'll verify it against the Redis store, and if it's okay, you can switch a flag in the backend side. But I'm not doing it. I think it's out of scope of this project, and for now I'm just taking it for granted, more or less. So actually, so return habits think that we can also optimize this, but React fragment. Wrong here, right? Okay. Of course. So if habits under this, otherwise render empty state, and the empty state is going to return block, and I'm also applying a heading. No, it's okay, body, and the body is going to be a placeholder, and no margin, and it's going to be medium. No, you have no habits. Try to add a couple. Try to be a better human. Most of us have habits, right? So please add one. Cool. And so habits length is equal to 0. So it seems that there are some habits which is really weird. That I can console up here habits. It's an empty array. Let me also add prettier. Oops. So am I doing something wrong here? Under empty state. Wow. So this is really weird. Let me just empty state here. I'll just do another body. I'll just do JSON stringify this props data habits. Sorry, no, I haven't named those. And I'll just do null too. it's an empty array. Oh, gotcha. And it's not even late, so so if length, okay. Okay, so now we have the empty state here. Also commit the code here, just a quick one. So where is my terminal? Yes. Add empty state to home screen. So I think that I will also rename the home screen, because it's not actually a home screen. Although, so now let's go back to the habit stuff, and instead of queries, let me rename these to mutations, and also rename this to add habit, and also this one to add habit. Actually, screens create habit will be better, and here also create habit, and the container for create habit, this one will be create habit, and we don't need this guy for now. And instead of queries, this is going to be mutations style component. Cool. So now we will have the let's say the mutation itself. So let's also create this one here. So I'd like to create this mutation. So this is going to be a mutation, and if we are going to API.Uzual.App, where is the playground, I'll also can create a mutation, create habit. Okay, and this create habit is going to have, it's wrong though, because I created create habit. If you're sending an ID now, is going to be treated as update, but I'll rename those. It's this should be upsert habit, or create habit is going to only create the habit, and update habit it's only going to update the habit. But since I would like to use the same screen for editing a habit, I think that will be better to use only one method in the backend, on the backend side, and expose it to the GraphQL layer. But this one is going to accept an ID, so we'll have an ID which is ID, also the title, which is a string, and actually the ID is not mandatory, as I said. Only the title and the description are mandatory for now, and we are also, well, we can also start it, so it's a boolean. And so ID is going to be ID, title is going to be title, description is going to be description, and start is going to be start. And in return, we would like to get the same thing as here. And you'll see in a minute why, because when we would like to update the cache, we need to get the same response from the mutation. This is a mandatory thing. So I think Uzual has the same stuff. So whenever you're mutating, get back the response. Alt F4. Why is that? I don't. Hey, Creeper. Press Alt F4, man. Okay. So now we would like to make this prettier and go back to our mutation here and paste it. So this create habit, let's import it. Sorry, in create in container, and we will have GraphQL, and we'll have mutations and create habit, and we are going to pass a couple of things here. So name is going to be create habit. This is just for now. We are going to also pass a couple of others, I think, for the mutations. And on the home screen, let me also create a button here. So I will say fab button, and it's going to receive an onPress event, which is going to be this on fab press. So this on fab press is going to navigate. So navigate, do we have a navigation? Yes. On fab press, going to navigate to create habit screen. We are good now. And on create habit screen, we will have only a block here saying so key, we don't need a key. Also placeholder, it doesn't matter. Create habit screen. So actually create habit here. Add the form. So to do add the form, and is this still render X? Of course, I know why, but it doesn't matter. We don't need a logout. If this is loading, it should not be loading, but either way, so this is loading full screen, otherwise render create habit form, and create habit form is going to have this graph. There is no habits, and also rename this, instead of home, it's a create habit. I think that we don't need a couple of these things here. So okay, and now fab button is not defined, and that's because we need to create it. So home, this is used here, but here in components, let me create a fab button, and I think that I can also create it directly in the style. So fab button is going to be a styled touchable opacity. Let me also import it. And this is going to have width of props theme layout fab button size, and this is also going to be a height, and we are also going to add a border radius of fab size divided by 2, and the color is going to be pink. I can create so it's props theme colors, and it's primary, and we are going to position it absolute, and left to right is going to be the theme spacing, and bottom also theme spacing. So fab button, again, it's complaining. This is the fab button. Restream, background. Okay, so now let me go to theme, layout, and this is fab button size is going to be, let's say, 50. And in home, fab button, I would like to edit here, so this is going to be a React fragment, and I would like to edit here. And it's not visible. That's because there is nothing to be displayed, but I'll add a plus, and I think that is going to screen. That's a plus, it's white and large. Okay, so it's here. But why is not styled? This is because props theme colors primary. Oh, that's because it's background color. So we should get it here. And also align items to the center and justify content to the center. Cool. And in home, this should also be center, no margin. And if we are taking a look at the theme, we will have size I would like to be x large, so xx large. Cool. No margin center. Child. Body. Hey man, thanks. Thanks man. Why is this complaining? I think I'm going to theme pixel line. It's going to be center, so I think that I don't need this guy here, so I'm not sure if I need it. Or it's because this is okay. So just defy, I think it's I think that I'm doing something here with the margin. Oh. I'll also add. That's because I think in themes. Oh yeah, because the font size was exceeding the fob stuff, so I think that it's large. We'll do the trick. Eventually, we are going to use the React Native vector icons, so we don't need it. So it's here, and we can also pass, for example, if we would like to change the margins here, we can go to spacing and add big, so big spacing, and that's it. And he'll be 20 pixels, which is great. Cool. But it's really weird that this is not working. Is this used anywhere? Yes, it's not used. So if I'm doing it 42, okay, and the body, text align, line self, font size. What about the line height? It's going to be theme size. There's no need to add pixels here. So Buran, Ilmaz, I'm not using anything for making this responsive, so yeah, that I'll just leave it as it is. So x large, and that x large is going to do the trick. Joseph Curtis, What do you mean by that? Is just a bot that it's just funky bot, and so I just delete? If it's a joke, I don't get it actually. But either way, uh, cool. So now this button is working, and so we we man, this is nice. We actually have to create the routing system. So in app navigation, we have the home stack. So this one is going to also have the oh, I haven't deleted the last video. Yes, Joseph. I haven't deleted it. I actually by mistake went online. My first video for this application, building it, was on Friday, I think, and it's still available. It's a 2-hour stream. I'm not deleting anything, so create habit. So we are going to create under home stack, and this is important. So under home stack, where we create the stack navigator, we are also going to create a new screen. I'm not sure exactly if it's good or bad, but yeah, let's work with it. And here, instead of home, it's create habit and create habit. I'm not sure exactly how to name the folders. Maybe create dash habit. I don't know. So in create habit, it's complaining about something. So container, of course, I missed a comma. Should be pretty simple to do. The PPP screen ratio. I haven't deleted. Yesterday I went online by mistake. Cool, so now let's refresh. And we should go to create habit. Hop. Wow. So in app navigator, we have a create habit, the home stack. Okay. Should be able. What I'm doing here, that's wrong. I may need GraphQL tag. Where? In container. Okay, so it this needs permutations. Okay, that's because I need to export it. Of course, now props data loading, of course, because again there is no loading now. So in create habit props, and instead it's create habit loading actually. So we are back here. Actually, let me move outside, because as you can see, I need to avoid having the bottom navigation while creating the habit, and I think that it's better to have it outside. So let me move this. So home stack, so app tabs are here, and I'm also going to use create habit here. So those are like the main routes here, okay? And whenever I'm pressing, I'll just go directly without having the how do you say, the bottom navigation here. Cool. So whenever you're adding a habit, I would like to create the form now. So I'm going to the login screen. I have here an input. So let me grab this thing here, and in create habit, let's add that. Okay, so we will have a couple of things here. So we have the title, the description, and we will also have a nice switch, which is a star mark as favorite habit. And this switch is going to also have a tint color. I think that I can copy it from the settings screen. So it's a switch. By the way, this is wrong. Okay, so create habit. I have this thing here. So start. So if it's start, on value change, I'm going to use the same thing here. So this is going to be start, and it's going to have not the state start. So we are negating the thing. And the draw color, it's okay. We actually have to create this one, and if you're going to log in, this is an easy stuff. So create habit, actually let me also uncomment this stuff. So we will have a couple of things. We will have the title, which is empty, description, which is also empty, and start is false. it's loading false. I'm not sure that we need it because we are using offline mode, so we don't need. Okay, so error, it's okay. Create habit form, we'll use the email. This is actually the title, title, and this is the description, and this is start. And also, if I'm going back to login, we have a button here which will say there is no block anymore, right? Oh, there is a block. I don't need you. Which will say create habit, and this is going to be create habit, and we have create habit line 60, of course. Actually, there is no E here. Okay, cool. So cannot find variable input, and that's because we're not using it. We're not importing it, and also import the button. So whenever something has changed, we are setting state with it, and create habit is going to be an async method that is going to do a couple of things. If we're taking a look at the login, yeah, I think that I can also copy this stuff and actually like everything from here, because but not this one will be create habit. So login, create habit. So let's log it, create habit. We will have title, description. So if those are not okay, we'll get the message error. So title, and we also have the description. Description is missing, and we also have error here. So also take this guy, didn't render just after this one. And to make the, so this is only for verification, there is no loading. I'll just, but I'll do a try catch, and here we will have a create habit which is passed from the container. We'll have a couple of variables, again ID, which is missing for now. We'll have a title and a description, and we'll have start, and also import start. And so create habit, we don't need those things for now, but if there is an error with loading false, don't care it, but definitely add the error message. And after this is finished, we want to go back. So this props navigate, go back, I think. Go back, it's used in registration screen. So this props navigation, go back. So when everything has finished, if there is no error, we would like to go back, okay? And cannot find properties, switch. Using this. So plus habit, let me also see. We have fields are mandatory, so error. Let's wrap this into a block. So I think that I also going to app navigation, and actually for now create habit is going to be the default route, and it's going to crash when I'm trying to go back because there is no go back. So fields are mandatory, block. Actually this is a spacer, so create habit, this is actually a spacer. We don't have a block, right? No. So fields are mandatory. Okay. Actually, no margin. And inside theme, spacing. This is going to be a big spacing and big spacing. So we'll have description is missing. Title is missing. His favorite. This is working. So to ensure that everything is working, actually, let me JSON stringify this state and also prettify it. Error placeholder. Okay, so we have the title. So title play auto capitalize. Why not? So play what? Weird though. Doesn't matter, I'll do it. Play piano. Mozart. Beethoven. Like this. No. Doesn't matter. So this is true, false. Okay, so when I'm creating a habit, it's going to complain. Something went wrong. And now. So was super useful if I had Docker running on my machine, because I could debug. I think that I'll just go here, someone. Let me log in. So mutation, login. The email was Uzual.Gmail.com, I think, and the password is password. And I like to get a token back. I got the password here. And if that's because I think that I can do ID is none. I can do title is learn piano. The description is going to be create some music every day and start. Boolean. Oh man. Okay, that was the problem. So Boolean. Okay, nice. So let me also grab a couple of those guys here. So in create habit, I'll have title, play piano, description. Okay, so play piano, create some music. I'll be using push notifications for that, Yosef. And I will schedule them locally. And for each habit, I am also going to create a category for each notification and schedule it accordingly. So it is going to be either daily or weekly or 3 times a day, let's say. For example, I'm also going to apply a habit, a mood for each day, right? So you can open the application, and if you haven't set the mood for today, there will be a pop-up showing up saying, hey, how do you feel today? Or enter your mood here, and you'll have like 5 different let me just show you here in the Notion. You'll have 5 different icons, like for different moods, and I'm going to store that. And if you are not going to set any mood until, I don't know, 9 p.m., I am going to send you a notification. But otherwise, if you open the application and you set the mood for that particular day, I am going to clear the notification for that day, so it's not going to be scheduled anymore. So this is the graph for the mood that I would like to show under the mood screen in the application. So you'll have different moods here that you can set each day, and by the end of the month or maybe week, it really depends. I think that we can make it customizable. You'll have this graph, which, by the way, you can share it with your friends. I think it's an awesome graph here. So yeah, push notifications which are local. And you can also, I think that mantras will also work for this kind. So for example, in settings, maybe you can set a random, like random code, or I don't know, something that will help you out, enhancing the habit, or I don't know, you'd like to, I don't know, receive some positive notifications, and you can schedule those like a random number. I don't know, I would like to receive 5 notifications a day about sports, or I don't know, something like that, and we can schedule upfront the notifications and will be delivered each day. Cool. So I would like to make it favorite and also create a habit. And now it was created, but since there is no go back, okay, so in app navigator, so I created it, okay, but let's create another one. So capitalize. Why is this capitalized? Doesn't matter. Run 30 minutes a day. 30 means per day. Running 30 minutes per day. Healthy situation here. And is not a favorite habit. So I'll press create habit. Is going to be created, and as you can see, this stuff is not so it's not refreshed, and this is for a reason, because one, we are relying on the cache. The second one is that when the mutation happened, we are not triggering refresh query, but we don't want to trigger any refresh query because we are going to update the cache instantly and do optimistic response. Okay, we'll hope that I'll not fuck it up with the optimistic response, let's say, but either way, doesn't matter. It's just fun to code. So here in create habit, we'll have again, so there are 2 things that you need to keep in mind. So the first one is optimistic response, which is going to accept the type name. In our case, it's mutation, and we will have like we are simulating the response. So create habit is going to return an ID, title, description, start, and also habits, which is going to be an empty array. So that's why it's super important to have the same response in the mutation as you'll have to the query. I had some rough times in the past with this kind of tricky. It's either way. So here in create habit, we are going to have a type name of habit, and from where I'm taking those, let me just show you. It doesn't matter. So the habit the habit itself is going to have a type name habit. For example, the mood is going to have a mood, and for each particular thing here in the box is going to have a day habit, which is my naming stuff. So okay, so now let me create a new habit here. So new habit new habit description, which is start. Now we should be able to get the undefined is not an object. So create habit. Of course, because ID is not here, so I think that I'll do math random and multiply it, I don't know, to string, because we need to maybe in the future add an OID, unique identifier here, but for now I think we're good to go here. So title, testing title, description for my habit, and I'm creating the habit. Nothing has changed because we just add an optimistic response, and with this optimistic response we have to go to the container and update our cache. So I think in options you'll have like how do you say, an update for the cache. So here we have an update, and this one will receive a proxy, and here is going to receive, I think, the data from create habit data. Let's see, and we will have a couple of things. We will have the data, and we are reading it from the proxy, so from the cache. So proxy is read query, and we are going to read the query from the home page, which is query. So let me import queries from home queries .graphql. So I'd like to read the habits, right? I hope that I'm going to read the query. So I know. So this data will have habits because okay. So I'll just push the habits with a new habit. So create habit response, and then I would like to write the query. Okay, so proxy write query. Of queries habits, and then pass the data here. And the data, and also write this intro try catch. Why not? So now when we are going to perform a mutation, we should get into this update stuff. and we are not going to wait for the backend response. Okay, so optimistic habit. I'm super optimistic, and its favorite. Why not? Create habit. It's already here. What's nice about this is that I don't know how to turn off the I think that actually actually I think that I know how to make it work, so let's simulate that the backend doesn't exist anymore. So if I'm going to setup and I'm just saying APIs, refresh, this is good. So now there is no API with this stuff here, so I'll just say no API offline habit I'm just a description. I don't want to start it. So this is an offline. And now if I'm going to API and refresh, it should be we should sync it with the backend. If I'm refreshing it and log out and log in with Uzual, it's synced, even though the API, so it's working surprisingly from the first iteration. So now we've created this thing. Of course the design is really bad, but we will make it better. So if I'm going now to log out, and I think it's Myron Catalin 2. Nope. Where it is. So Usual backend. Usual backend. So is on the seed side. Myron Catalin, so it's with a point. This is my seed. We will go to the backend side as well, so I thought that with 2, so either way. Nice. So let me also add one here, and but I would like to create habit, and I would like to default value. How can I capitalize something? React Native text input. Oh, this is multi-line. Nice. Yeah. I can also add this, right? I'm not sure. But capitalize. Auto capitalize. Okay. But So the description is going to be multi-line. Auto capitalize. I would like to auto capitalize. Only the first letter, which is nice. It's the default, but I'm not sure why it's not working. It happens. But this is only for, yeah. Weird. It's still not working, right? Fuck me. I was using to lowercase because I don't wanna let users create emails with uppercase and so on. So yeah. So this is ride the bike. Let's go to the office with the bike, and because it's okay. So, and this is also favorite, and it's already created, and now we only need to add the little squares here, and I like to fill the whole month. I think, I'm not sure about the UI here, either the full month with squares and turquoise being the one that you've made, or this one if you haven't made it. Let me just change it. Yeah, it should be fine. So let me also commit this code here. Actually, before that, yeah, it's okay. So okay, yes, quick, create fab button style component. No. Oh. So this no, yes, okay. Really add create habit container plus mutation. Split only this one. Reference. No. Yes. No. Render fab button that create habit. Yes. Switch value. It's already a boolean for the win. So let's push it. Oops. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we created. Let me also add some screenshots for the. Oops. To create habit JSON stringified. It should not be here. And we are also going to have a wrapper. It's okay. So this one, screenshot, switch the theme, create the button, switch the theme, and actually in the, I think it's in the app. Let's change it to light because I like the light on better. And go here. Let me drag and drop a couple of things. Stop. So this is dark create habit screen, light create habit screen. Go here in the readme. So dark theme. Let me grab this one. Okay. The light theme. 1, 2. That I'll also create. So preview. Okay, create habit. I think it's also the dark one. Cool. Git add. Okay. Make light theme the default theme color. Notebook. No. Add screenshots. With create habit. Necessary render code. Cool. So now we have some things. So I would like to merge it. Now we have the create habit. Cool. We're also going to edit habit. Edit habit should be pretty simple, but I'll just take maybe tomorrow I'll just do the live coding, and eventually we will do the edit, which should be pretty simple because we're going to do it on press on an item. We are going to go to create habit, which we are going to rename. Makes sense. Create habit, and we are going to pass the properties in the routing system. Pretty simple. Habit detail screen. Still, I'm not sure if we are going to create this at all. Set habit action. I was just thinking either with swiping or double press on an item to make it either active or inactive. I'll just see. I don't know. Let me know, guys, what do you think? If you have some ideas of improving the UI, I'll be more than happy to hear those. So now if I'm logging with my account here, I have a lot of things, and also yeah, I'm a pro user. Cool. So I hope, guys, that you've enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. Hit the ring bell if you'd like to be notified when I'm posting a new live streaming. I think that tomorrow definitely I'll be here to play around with Uzual application, and you can follow me on Twitter. You have my Twitter handler, and there's also a buy me a coffee link. So if you feel that you wanna help me out, you can do it here. I think it's Kathleen Miron. Why is this so buymeacoffee.com/Kathleen Miron if you would like to support me anyway. I'll keep doing this stuff because it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. But yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.